Nashville's Rhinestone Rembrandt, Manuel Cuevas Martinez, has designed extraordinary outfits for many different people, including the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Elton John, Madonna, Elvis Presley, plus presidents, athletes, movie stars, and, of course, most country music artists. Now, the honor of a namesake rose is bestowed upon Manuel as one of Nashville's treasures. Lynn caught up with him at his studio right here in town.
They often say, "I didn't promise you a rose garden." Lynn Anderson said that in her hit song. Well, today they are promising one for Manuel. He is getting a rose in the garden. How are you?
I'm just fine. I'm glad you mentioned Lynn because I dressed her for the first time in her career.
Yes, and that's why she will be presenting you with the rose today. I guess you've been a longtime friend and business client.
And I am so happy that that's happening. I just found out. I didn't know who was presenting me with the rose, but I'm so proud. Lynn, a great friend forever with me, yeah.
But you dressed her the very first time. You also have dressed, I have to talk to you, the Man in Black, Johnny Cash. Tell us the stories. I know you have many.
Of course, you know, I kind of, John and I kind of grew up in a way because all these guys like Johnny, like Waylon, like, oh my God, Kenny Rogers, like Glenn Campbell was kind of the youngest of them all, and Willie Nelson, the Silver Fox, Charlie Rich. We all kind of gang up on people. We kind of were friends forever, and when I started making clothes for them, it was just kind of a natural. But John, who was the man with the charisma, the man with the aura, we always respected him because he was always so serious and so different, and in a way, kind of religious, kind of spiritual. I mean, he reminded me of the old monk, or I don't know what to tell you, but there was something about him. But I had the pleasure of knowing him as a great, great friend, to the point one time that I was in the back of my parking lot here in Tennessee. Of course, I've known him forever, but I mean, here in Tennessee, I was getting off my car and I looked in the mirror that there was these big legs, kind of moving and it was him sitting on the railroad pieces back there, and I said, "What in the world are you doing here, brother?" And he says, "No, let me talk first." He says, "Do you get to work this late all the time?" I said, "Johnny Cash, today is Sunday, and I'm coming to church. This is not my work day."
That is great. What a story. So,
I mean, and like that, so many of them. I mean, we were like,
very, very close. And the Beatles, Elvis Presley. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, but my favorites, they had to be like the Lone Ranger, like Roy Rogers, like, people like that, like Ben Johnson, like Gregory Peck, like,
wow,
so many of them that I made so many movies with, It was so much fun to work for them, like Robert Mitch.
So how did you make your first connection with those guys? Have you always been in Nashville, or?
No. I was in Los Angeles. I was a young kid, actually, and I would do a little work for the studios in Hollywood, right there at Universal Studios. And for some reason, which is I call just sweet serendipity, I got to meet Edith Head, who has been forever one of the greatest designers that I have ever seen in my life, known about in my whole life. And she took me kind of as her protege, and she invited me to see her shop one time. And she said, "Let me introduce you to this little boy that is, against the wall over there sewing. And his name is Bob Mackey." And I went and introduced myself to him. I mean, years, forever, and she put me in charge of wardrobe for James Dean, which was the first movie that I did in the United States of America. That was 1954.
Wow.
And that was with Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, and other personality, which I didn't dress. I only dressed James Dean, and I'm responsible for, James Dean is responsible for making jeans famous in America. That used to be like an anathema to wear jeans in the early 50s.
Yeah.
Nobody would wear, I mean, you belong in the barn somewhere.
If you wore jeans and didn't have on the proper attire.
But after James Dean and that Rebel Without a Cause, you know, they just became the thing to wear.
And you were the one dressing him at that time.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's one of those moments that I call sweet serendipity, being at the right place with the right people at the right time.
Rhinestones and roses entwined.
I'm very proud I accept this in a very humble way, and I love you all, because if it wasn't for everybody around here, I'm sure things like this will never happen. So I thank you all, and I thank my family. I love them. Sometimes. All the support from all of you, this is the place for that. Thank you so much.
The next time you're downtown, be sure to check out the new rose in the Nashville Music Garden in the Walk of Fame Park. We still have lots more ahead, so don't you move while we take this short little break. We'll be back with more Inside Music Row right after this.
Hi, this is Alan Carl here with Donna Cunningham. Inside Music Row is now offering a chance to win our new duet called Jesus Heard Every Word, preloaded on an iPad too. So head on over to InsideMusicRow.com to enter.